Okay, question 4. A plane flying from Glasgow to Exeter takes the most direct flight path between the two airports. From its flight altitude, the pilot can see 50 kilometres out of his window in all directions. On this flight path, will he be able to see Bristol Airport? Well, let's go back to another blank version of our map. Now, in this question, we're dealing with two extremes on our map. We're looking at a flight path from Glasgow to Exeter, and as you can see at the moment, I've got it set up so that I can just about see Glasgow right at the top of my screen, Exeter at the bottom, but I can't see my scale. If you select the select tool, we got the cross, and if you double click in this white space over here, it actually creates a bigger window for you. And now I can see Glasgow, Exeter, and my scale. Okay, let's now start thinking about the question. I've got a flight path going from Glasgow to Exeter, and I want the most direct route possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that flight path. So using my line segment between 2 points from Glasgow to Exeter, I draw my route. Now imagine the pilot's taken off from Glasgow. It says that the pilot can see 50 kilometres in all directions. And so the loci that describes being able to see 50 kilometres in all the different directions is a circle. So again, we can use our circle function. It is a compass again this time, where we state our radius first and then our centre point. So our radius is 0 to 50 kilometres. There's our circle. We now have to state our centre. It's going to be at Glasgow. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is do exactly the same thing when he gets to Exeter. He'll be able to see 50 kilometres in all directions. So we're going to do the same thing again at the compass tool. Radius 0 to 50 kilometres. Centre this time is Exeter. Now imagine what he can see as he goes from Glasgow to Exeter. As he looks out to his left hand side, he can see 50 kilometres this side, or to his right, and you can see 50 kilometres this way. And hopefully what you're starting to see is what we're going to create is what we've called the sausage construction, where we have two semicircles at one side. So one semicircle at this end at Exeter, one semicircle at Glasgow, and some straight lines joining these two parts up. So what we now need to do is to be able to identify what we call a tangent on this circle. So we're going to use what we call the tangent tool. And we're going to select our circle and select the other circle, and what it draws for us here are some tangents. It actually draws more tangents than what we need, and so what we need to do is to be able to tell the computer program which ones of these that we actually need, so it makes the diagram, I suppose, less confusing. The tangents that we need is this one here and this one here, but what we don't need is this one here and this one here. Now, one simple way of doing it is you can see that what Geogebra is doing. If I just hover over this line, it's called it line B. In that yellow box it says line B. This diagonal one is called line G, line F, line E. And the two lines that I don't want is line F and line G. And you can see the properties coming up here. If you didn't know what this was, this toolbar is all the different properties of all the different nodes. And we've just said that we don't want line G. So if I just click here on line G, it should switch that off. If I use my select tool, that'd be better, wouldn't it? I can switch that off. So I've clicked my select tool and I've clicked that node, and I can switch it on and off whenever I want to. The other one that is here is this line here. If I just hover over it, just give it a moment to recognize that you're hovering, line F, I can switch off line F as well. So I've created, if you like, my sausage shape. Will I be able to see Bristol Airport? Well, if we just highlight the area which the pilot will be able to see anywhere within the circle, anything within this region here. But unfortunately, within this region is not Bristol Airport. There's just this small gap which won't be able to be seen. So the answer to the question is, on this flight between Glasgow and Exeter, no, the pilot will not be able to see Bristol Airport.